What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about Elias Pettersson of the Vancouver Canucks. He does seem to be available. Patrick Allvin, GM over in Vancouver, he had an interview and he all but said, yeah, anything can happen. Maybe we do move Elias Pettersson or move somebody over there in Vancouver. But it really does seem like Elias Pettersson is the most likely to be moved for a couple of reasons, and I'll break that down in this video. But players like this don't come around very often, and I think it's very important to realize that, hey, the Jets are in win now mode. Why not try to put something together for Elias Pettersson? He was the 5th overall pick back in the 2017 draft by Vancouver, has played there his entire career, is a centerman, their number 1 centerman, just 26 years old, 6'2", 176. He is an all-star with a shot, playmaking ability. He is going to be, probably even better as his career goes on here. He's in his prime currently. Right now with the Canucks, he does only have 28 points in 34 games, and I say only because he has had a very successful career in the NHL. Last year coming off an 89-point season, and in the 22-23 season, he had 102. So, maybe taking a tad of a step back this year. However, we know what Elias Pettersson is. He's at minimum like a 90-point guy. He's an elite number 1 centerman. This would be such a fun pickup for the Winnipeg Jets, and I'm saying this knowing that Mark Scheifele's on the team. I get that. I know that. And I know a lot of you are going to say, well, hey, we don't need a center. We need defense. The Jets need a superstar. And if you can go out and get a superstar, that is a very rare opportunity for anybody in the NHL. These don't really, come along. I was listening to the 32 Thoughts podcast, and Friedman said, the last one that he can think of with the magnitude of, the star power of Elias Pettersson was probably the Jack Eichel trade when he got moved from Buffalo to Vegas. And he's absolutely right. Elias Pettersson is on the block. I'm sure teams have already called about it, but if they have not, I'm sure that Vancouver's phone is going to be ringing off the hook because this guy is a game changer. Last offseason, Elias has signed a big deal with the Vancouver Canucks, 8 years, $92.8 million, which makes it even crazier that he's available seemingly right now. $11.6 million per year is what, his cap hit's going to be for the next 8 years. Now that is a lot of money, but as time goes on here and the cap goes up, that's honestly going to look like a steal. He's a star, he's getting paid like a star. Now he's in the first year of the 8 years, so he's locked up long term, and now what I see a lot of people talking about on Twitter and everything else is that, hey, he's not going to waive his no move to come to Winnipeg, but his no move clause doesn't kick in until the second year of his deal, so he doesn't have a say. If Vancouver wants to ship him off, to whoever, if the Sharks offer them a 7th round pick and the Canucks for some reason want to take it, that can happen. He has no say in the matter. So now, we're talking about a star forward who's already locked up for 8 years at pretty good money for what kind of a player he is. He plays center, and he's just available. There's no protection. He can't say no if he gets traded to the Jets. This is literally the perfect scenario for Winnipeg to be able to acquire a star. This is staring them in the face. If they can put a package good enough together, they can land an elite number 1 centerman. And look, if Mark Scheifele is your second best centerman and you have Elias Pettersson on your team, you are set. Now this is a big thing for Winnipeg for many reasons. Pettersson is fast, he can shoot the puck, he can score. Winnipeg has a lot of uncertainty with their forward core in the next couple of seasons. What is Cole Perfetti going to look like, right? What's his contract going to look like? They have to sign Gabe Vilardi this coming off season as he's an RFA. Kyle Connor's going to need a deal in 2 years. Nikolai Ehlers a free agent after this year. So you could really lock in a lot of certainty with Elias Pettersson and then make some decisions as you go here. And it doesn't hurt as bad when you have an elite 1A, 1B centerman. Now, what is this going to look like? What kind of a deal are we talking about here? It's going to be expensive, and this kind of deal might not be for everybody. I can see why a lot of people won't like, what the Jets would have to give up or seemingly would have to give up to land a guy like this, but I think it's totally worth it. You're in win now mode. Now is the time to go for it. Now is the time to be bold. Now is the time to make a move like this. It's staring you right in the face. I believe wholeheartedly that would be a massive trade. Like, this isn't going to be like a player, a pick, and a prospect. This is going to be big. And I think it's going to be something like a Cole Perfetti, a first-round pick, and maybe a Brad Lambert, and maybe another elite, prospect. Maybe it's Kobe Barlow. Honestly, if that's the kind of deal they want, they can have it. I will drive them to the airport myself. If it's Cole Perfetti, Brad Lambert, a first, and Barlow, I will drive them there personally, I promise you. And I think a lot of other people would in the city as well. I see a lot of people split on that, as it is very fun to have a prospect like Brad Lambert. And, Cole Perfetti is growing into a great player. He's one of my favorite players on the Jets. But realistically, are they ever going to really pan out to the level that Pettersson is? I don't think so. And yes, collectively, you have three guys there that could, form a really good, base in the forward core going forward. I think that Cole Perfetti is probably going to be, a lower-end first-line player, maybe, a 60, 70-point guy in his career. Pettersson's better than that, just flat out. And he's a reliable centerman. Brad Lambert, very good player. Is he going to be more than a 50-point guy? Still to be seen, right? He is a really good player, but I don't really know what his ceiling is right now. How likely is it that he's going to be a star? I'm not so sure. And then you go, like, Kobe Barlow, what is he going to be, right? I don't know. Probably a power play specialist. I'm not too high on Kobe Barlow. There's a lot of other guys in the Jets system that I'm much more high on, like Nikita Chibrikov, like Elias Pettersson, who looks like he could be ready for the NHL very soon. They have other options. Braden Yager's around. I just think, with the wealth of prospects that the Jets have right now, they can afford to make a big move like this if Vancouver wants to dance. I think this would be the time to do it. You're really on pace to have the best season since returning to the NHL. Best season in team history. Imagine what adding an Elias Pettersson would do to your team. I think this is the move. This is the thing to do right now. And if Winnipeg goes ahead and makes this deal, or goes ahead and tries to make a deal, that is incredible. That is absolutely 100% what they should be trying to do right now. Will they? Probably not. The way this organization works, I very much doubt that they're going to try to do it. But man, if there was ever a situation, if there was ever an opportunity to make a splash, this is it. You wouldn't have to hunt down for a second-line center every year. You'd have Scheifele and Pettersson locked in for, the next 7-8 years. You go to town from there. This would be the move of all moves for Kevin Cheveldayoff to do, and I really hope that he realizes this, because this would be a ton of fun here in Winnipeg. But that is my case for Elias Pettersson. I know a lot of people aren't going to like it. I know a lot of people are going to say, no, I'd rather not do this. And that's totally okay. We can disagree on that. I see the pros and the cons on both sides, but I think there's far more pros than cons, personally, to making this move. But what do you think? I want to hear about it down below. Let me know what you guys think about this. But if you like the video, leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Go Jets, go. Bye-bye.